How many of you expect to be blessed today? I want you to greet somebody beside you with a handshake, big hug. Tell that person, expect to be blessed today. And how many of you have come for the first time? Can I see a raise of hands? Welcome, 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 welcome. This is your home. This is your family now. After the feast, please go to the lobby. We'll give you a welcome gift. I'd like to greet all those watching by television and video. God will speak to you in a special way today. Open your heart to Him. And I hope that one day you drop by, visit us, be part of this amazing assembly of people here in the happiest place on earth, because God is alive. God is here. Amen. Everybody say it with me again. Expect to be blessed. God's creation adjusts to our expectation. Did you hear that? God's creation adjusts to our expectation. If you came here expecting to, hear a talk from a charming preacher, that's all you'll get. That's all you'll get. But if you came here expecting a miracle, expecting healing, expecting transformation, expecting a destiny change, then that's what will happen, because God is here right now and He hears your heart and you will be blessed in that place. Amen. So if you're ready for all that to happen, come pray with me in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Today I receive all of God's love for me. Today I open myself to the unbounded, limitless, overflowing abundance of God's universe. Today I open myself to God's blessings, healing, and miracles. Today I open myself to God's Word. So I become more like Jesus every day. Today I proclaim that I'm God's beloved, I'm God's servant, I'm God's powerful champion. And because I am blessed, I am blessing the world. In Jesus' name, amen. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Amen. Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6 says, train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. Read it for me, please. Train up a child in a way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. How many of you are parents here? Raise your hand. You're going to receive a word today about your parenting. How many of you have grandkids already? Woo! Yeah. That's a happy place to be in. God's going to speak to you. Some of you are not yet parents. And some of you don't have biological children. But here's what I know. If you open up your heart to God, you've got people that God has sent into your life. And they're spiritual children. Maybe they're nephews. Maybe they're nieces. Maybe they're people in your life. Maybe they're your age. But in some particular way, you have an impact in their lives. Well, this verse is for you as well. Train up. Everybody say train. You need to have purpose and process every time you train. Have you ever been trained before? Whether it be customer service training or... Yeah? You ever had a dog? You trained a dog? Wasn't there a purpose when you trained the dog? I want Brownie to backflip. I want Brownie to cook breakfast for me every morning. There was a purpose. Well, your purpose when you train the people that God sends to you, whether they be biological children or spiritual children, people you care for, the training is for maturity. Say maturity. You want them to be spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, physically, and financially mature. That's the goal. And we're going to talk about process. How do you train? We're going to talk about that very important thing today. Put your hand over your chest. Everybody say, Jesus, use me to bless the people in my life, so that they mature. In Jesus' name, amen. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto Touch somebody beside you. Tell that person, God will speak to you today. I'm going to talk about monster kids today. Everybody say monster kids. Parents, when you say monster kids, please don't give a side glance to your kids. I mean, we're talking about other parents and their kids, right? But I have a second title for this talk, and I love that much, much more. To hold on, you must let go. This talk is going to be surgery for some of you. It's going to cut deep in your heart. I just want to warn you, okay? Tell somebody beside you, you might get cut by this message. Say that. Yeah, just warn someone. To hold on, you must let go. Tell somebody beside you, to hold on, you must let go. Single people, are you listening to me? To hold on, you must let go. There might be this guy in your life, this girl in your life, and you've been holding on to that person. That person is struggling to go away, and you're holding on. Please, he's not worth it if he wants to go away. It's not worth it. Let go. And if that person decides to stay, then he's the one. But if he goes away, praise God, he's not worthy of you. Let go. And if the person goes away, there's now space for someone better to come along. Yes? To hold on, you must let go. There are single people, listen to me. There are some relationships that are so stifling, that are so suffocating. The other person in the relationship feels strangled by the demand for attention and time from the other person. Ask me why that happens. Because there is a confusion between love and need. Everybody say, oh. The person thinks, spend time with me. Be with me. Please come here. When are you coming? Please be here. Please stop. You know what's that? That's not love. That's need. It comes from emptiness. And what you need to understand is this. The very, very important, love is not need. A full heart, let's go. A full heart, let's go. And the other person, if he's for you, would like to stay. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Single people, I'm giving a word for you, and it might be surgery for you right now, but I'm just going to warn you. Can I talk to the parents this time? Parents, say aye. Parents, I'm going to give you this word. Life is about letting go. It is. You want to mature? Let go. Let go. Look at your health. Once upon a time, you had a lot of hair. And then slowly you let go. Once upon a time, you had muscles in your chest. And then you let go when it came to the stomach. What's that? Oh, those are my muscles. But they were here before and now they're there. You know? It's let go. You know? Life is a journey of letting go. At the end of your life, you're gonna let go of your life itself, your breath itself. Yes? At that point, you know, when you grow older, you know, my mother used to say that to me when she reads the obituaries in the was it obituaries? Am I right? In the newspaper? You know, oh, these are my friends. Oh, these are my friends. You know, all her friends. She's letting go. Life is all about letting go. And you need to learn how to let go with peace in your heart. Parents, I'm going to speak to you. You've got to learn to let go, even of your children. How many parents, when your kid was born, did it change your life totally and completely? It's like history, right? History is divided into two, BC and AD. Same thing. BC stands for before children. AD stands for after the delivery of children. You know, the moment your child comes, boom, your whole life is changed. Well, guess what? Your child will continue to change, will continue to change, will continue to change. And every time your child changes, it's an invitation for you to also change. Because if you don't change, there's going to be war in the house. There's going to be war in the relationship. It was, there are parents who say, Bo, my kids are monsters. I told that child to, for my effects. So, very good, very good. Wonderful. My kids are monsters. They say it in Tagalog. Mga anak ko, mga demonyo. In the peak of their frustration. And how will I answer? I'll say this in Tagalog. Saan kaya nagmana? I took up a family course many years ago, and 2 years, trained to be a family therapist. And a family therapy session is like this: mommy, daddy, child 1, child 2, child 3, no matter how many children, in one room. And then when the mommy or the daddy says, he's the black sheep of the family, pointing to, let's say, child number 2, black sheep, black sheep, black sheep, the family therapist was trained to understand this person is not the black sheep of the family. In fact, he's not a sheep at all. That person is a goat. Ask me why. He's a scapegoat. Scapegoat lang siya. What am I saying? There are no problem kids. There are only problem. And I say this generally. Of course, there are exceptions. There are exceptions where a good parent would have kids that would do bad things. But those are exceptions. Most of the time, the kids, are monsters because there are horror parents. And one of the issues, this is not the only issue, but one of the more important issues of parents is the ability to let go. They have a difficult time letting go. Arun Gogna has a book entitled, Arun is the feast builder of Alabang. And he has a book entitled Lasting Gifts. He has wonderful chapters there, which I'm going to share with you. He says that there are 3 hats that you need to wear as a parent. When the kids were small, you should wear the controller hat. Everybody say controller's hat. When your kids are small, tell them what to eat, because if they don't listen to, if you just leave them be, they will eat ice cream for breakfast and French fries for lunch and cotton candy in the evening. You need to tell them study time, because if you don't do that, they will play Flappy Birds all day and get a score of 2,500. You've got to understand controller. You have to do it. How do you do it? Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 7 says, you shall teach them diligently to your children and shall talk to them when you sit in your house and when you walk by the way and when you lie down and when you rise. You need to have a family culture and have an immersive experience with your kids. And one of the ways of doing that is by having rituals. Say rituals. Parents ask me, how do you train kids? Have rituals. Kids love rituals. When Benny, my youngest son, was really small, he insisted that I always read him a bedtime story, no matter how late it is. Even if it's 12 midnight, we come home from somewhere, my son says, okay, Daddy, bedtime story. It's 12 midnight, go to sleep. Dad, you have to, you must. In his language, he was basically saying, the world will come to an end if you will not read me a bedtime story. Kids love rituals. Use them. Have morning rituals. What are your morning rituals? Waking up in the morning and praying. Reading the Bible with your kid. Maybe get a kid's Bible. Or how about exercise? Eating a great breakfast. Healthy breakfast. Or how about before the kid goes to school, you pray over them. These are rituals. And you establish that. What are your evening rituals? Having a good meal together. Parents, kids, listen to me. Everybody say, I'm listening. Every meal at home should be a happy meal. Make it a point. Even if it's not Jollibee, it must be happy meal. Ask me how. Number one, no gadgets in the dinner table. No TV, no phones, nothing. Zero. Number two, parents, no scolding around the dinner table. I don't care if your son sets fire to the school building and he goes and is having dinner, you talk happy. It is a happy meal. Is that understood? That's why kids don't want to go home. That's why kids don't want to have meals with the family, because every time they go there, the mother says, oh, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, or how terrible you are, and blah, 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 blah. Why would a kid want to go? No. Every meal should be happy. Happy. Have rituals. Very important. And then at a certain time, when kids become age 10 to 13, you need to change your hat into the coaching hat. What's the difference? Ask me, what's the difference? The coach does not enter the court. Yes? Stays in the sidelines, stays in the bench, but he tells the player, go and do your best. Same thing. The moment that your child becomes, between age 10 to age 13, you've got to change hats already, because they don't want you to be there beside them, but you need to inspire them. The most important role is not instruction, but inspiration. Being able to inspire. The message is this: I believe in you and I trust you. That's the big message of the coaching hat. Are you with me on this? When I was a small boy, of course, I wanted Mom to be with me. I remember going to my mother and said, Mom, I'm in a school play. You better go to school. I am Prince Charming. And and my mom was so proud of me. And then she watched the play, a little bit disappointed because Prince Charming appeared at the end of the play about 6 seconds. I entered the stage, I kissed Sleeping Beauty, and then I left the stage. The end, The reason why they chose me to be Prince Charming because he had no lines. I remember I went to my mom and I said, Mom, I joined the oratorical contest in school. You've got to be there. I always wanted Mom to go there. And so Mom was there. It was an oratorical contest. I didn't join, actually. They just, bunutan. And I won second place. Don't be too impressed because there were only 2 contestants. And I was booed out of the stage. I did a terrible job. I didn't finish my speech, and everybody just said, oh, go down. And so I went down, and I was so embarrassed. But my mother was there, and she embraced me. Oh, it's okay. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. I felt so good. And then something happened. Overnight, I didn't want her to be around anymore. Yes or no? Did you experience that? I was 13 years old. I was preaching already. In 14 years old, people would invite me to speak in prayer groups. And so the leader of the prayer group will pick me up at home, will bring me to the prayer group. And I remember I'll be standing on stage and I'll be preaching. And then from the corner of my eye, at the back of the room, oh my gosh, my mother is there going in, going in and holding what? A cassette recorder. Not a small one, a monster cassette recorder, as big as a refrigerator. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, that insane woman. Oh no, she's there. Nakakahiya. So embarrassing, Anyway, at the end of the talk, I'm brought home by the prayer group leader, and then as I enter the house, I hear myself preaching. I knock on the door of my mom's bedroom. I said, Mom, why did you have to go there? It's so embarrassing. I don't want you to be there always every time I preach. And my mother opens the door and says, huh? Yes. You were there. Me? I hear myself preach. See? Really? Good night. Love you, And Arun would say this, at a certain time, your kids would not want you to be there. You know what? If they don't invite you to their school events, be there anyway. But at the back. Don't show yourself. Invest in high-powered binoculars. And then invest in a long lens where you can take pictures 200 meters away. So that when your kids are already married, they're all old and they're married, you show them the pictures. And then, of course, your kids will say, you were there? Of course. Coaching hat. Coaching hat is knowing that you give them distance, you give them wings, you let them fly, you make them go through the mistakes, but you let go. Very, very important. And then when your kids become autonomous, when they get married, when you need to shift hat to the consultant hat. Say consultant hat. What's the difference between a coaching hat and a consultant. Ask me what? This one, at any time, you can pull out your player from the court and say, can I give you feedback so that you will play better? But a consultant hat, you only speak when asked. Everybody say, oh. No, that's why you have in-law problems. Right? Right? You have in-law problems because the parent insists on being a coach or a controller instead of a consultant. A consultant is hired and will only speak when the person who hires him says, can you give me advice? Makes sense? I remember this young wife coming up to me, after one feast, and she said, Brother Bo, we've not been visiting our in-laws for 4 months. Why? Every time I go there, she criticizes about how I feed my kids, how I dress my kids, the school I send to my kids, the brand of food, all sorts of criticism. I can't. I felt pity for the grandparents. 4 months not seeing their grandkids, that's torture. But that's what happens when parents don't change their hats. What happens when you don't change your hats? Number one, you lose your child. You'll always have resentments. You'll always be fighting. Number two, your child will never mature. Your child will never have wings. Yes? They'll not grow up. Number three, your grandkids will never also have wings, will also not mature. Why? It's a cycle. It's a cycle. They did not learn from you giving wings. How can they teach their own kids how to? Number four, you yourself will not mature. Parents, when you let go of your kids, you will find out that God will tell you your kids are not your only ministry. There's a bigger family to serve. Isn't it exciting? But if you do not let go, you cannot hear that, and you'll not be able to serve the bigger family of God. Everybody say, I'm listening. My dear friends, the only way to hold on is actually to let go. I'll say that again. The only way to hold on is to let go. I'm going to invite a father and a daughter to come on stage. And I ask them to reenact something special that happened in their lives. You will be very blessed.
My dearest daughter, Angel, in my hand is a ribbon of trust. It represents our spiritual and emotional connection. It is the link between you and me. Alam mo, Angel, 25 years ago, I proposed marriage to your mom. And then when we got married, she told me, I wanted to have a baby boy as her first child. Talagang, she wanted a baby boy. And she told me, I will pray hard for it. And she did. She prayed hard for it. But I think I prayed harder because I wanted a baby girl. And so when your mom was pregnant and I took her to the hospital to deliver you, I was there outside waiting, the delivery room, and I was walking back and forth. There were other 5 fathers there waiting, and I waited for 16 hours. Your mom labored for 16 hours for you. And so when the doctor came out of the delivery room and told me, it's a baby girl, and I jumped for joy, and tears were falling on my cheeks. And I told the nurse, can I see my daughter? Can I see my baby girl? And she said, you can go over to that side and I'll open the curtain and you will see her. And so I hurriedly went there. And suddenly the curtain opened. And I saw you. You were staring at me with your eyes wide open. And you were like looking at me. Nakakunot ang iyong noo. And sabi mo, parang sinasabi mo, "Are you my dad?" And I said, I was just waving my hand. "Yes, hi, I'm your daddy. Hello." And I was crying. It's tears of joy. And so we took you home. I cherished that moment, taking care of you, loving you, embracing you, hugging you with your mom. And we were just happy that we have a baby girl. And your mom was so happy as well. And then I would even change diapers and prepare your milk. And I would even kiss your tiny toes. And your mom and I would come close to you. And we would put our fingers in your hand. We would feel the grip of your fingers sa daliri namin. As if like you were telling us, this is where you can find security, love, protection. But Angel, as you were growing up, I have to let you go. I have to put this rope of trust. And I have to let you go because you're growing up. When you were a toddler, you started to learn to walk and to run. And I have to step back and extend this rope longer and longer so you can explore your surroundings and you learn, you mature. And I would extend it longer and longer and let you go and allow you to explore your place so that you will learn. And we would even read books together. We would watch movies together. And then when you try to explore everything around you, I would see some dangers around you. I would try to pull it back because I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to experience pain. But then sometimes when you see dangers around you, I do not even need to pull this rope of trust because you would run coming back to me because you know that you are secured with us. But then again, I would have to extend again this rope of trust. Extend it longer when you were in your elementary. And then when you were in high school, you have to have friends. You have to have your barkadas. You wanted to grow with them. And from there, you will see a lot of potholes around you. Minsan nagkakamali ka. And then you would come back to me and you would say, "Dad, I'm sorry. I did something wrong." And then I would tell you, "Angel, it's okay. Just learn from that." And then I would extend this more because I want you to learn and to mature and to grow. Then suddenly there are bigger potholes around you. There are medium potholes. And you will rise from whenever you fall. You would conquer them. You would overcome them. But then when you were in college, Angel, I learned to extend this longer and longer. Because I want you to develop yourself fully and learn more and explore more. But then there are again many potholes around you. And then you will fall in that pothole. And I will tell you again, it's okay, Angel. Our love for you will always be there. It will not change. And we love you so much. Your mom and I love you so much. But one day, there's this one big pothole. An oversized pothole. I would not even call it oversized pothole. It's actually a sinkhole. And you were there probably when you fell in that sinkhole. You were probably calling for your dad. "Dad, where are you?" But then I wasn't there. I was holding to this rope and I wanted to pull it back, but I can't. And all we can do is pray to God. Your mom and I have to pray hard so we can pull you out of that sinkhole. And it was really hard for us. But then you were able to conquer. You were able to overcome. And we saw you and we told you again, "Angel, we love you so much. Our love for you will not change and we will always support you." And we will always be there for you. 2 years ago, Angel, you asked me to join you in the Amazing Race Philippines. I was 47 that time. And you were like saying, Dad, I need a partner in that race. And you could not find one. And you told me to join you. I don't even know if I could make it because it entails a lot of running. There are many challenges that we need to face. And I joined you because I wanted to make sure you're okay. And so that I can also protect you. And so we joined the Amazing Race Philippines and we conquered 54 challenges. And I saw you how you struggled, but you conquered them. And I saw how witty you are and courageous you are in that race. And I was so happy because I know you did it and you are so courageous. Today, Angel, with my supreme trust to God and to you, I want to give this rope to you. You can tie it unto God because I believe that even as you soar high, you are now a successful professional. As you soar high, even though I know there are air pockets and turbulence, you will be able to conquer them. Just remember that your mom and I and your brother will always be here beside you, no matter what. And we will always love you. Go. I love you, Angel.
I'd like to honor you, Dad, for everything that you've said. I honor you and Mom for raising us up, for me and Johan to the persons that we are today. Thank you. For the rope of trust. I accept this rope by God's grace. With utmost care, I hold it. Thank you for your trust and confidence in me. Dad, we've been through a lot. From you becoming my playmate to my number one fan, to my hero. We've been through a lot, and I accept this rope, but then I want to say also that we don't need this rope anymore. We don't need this rope anymore, Dad, because the connection that we have as father and daughter, it will always be there. It will always be there. The bond that God created between the two of us, as we are bonded to Him as well, it will always be there. Thank you for being my inspiration and firelighter. I will continue to be the person that I know you envisioned me to become. And thank you for the trust and confidence. I love you so much, Dad.
I love you too.
I want you to stand up now. Come before the presence of the Lord. Hallelujah. Wow. Told you it's surgery time. Cut in the heart. Everybody say this with me. To hold on, I must let go. Say this with me. If I want abundance, I must let go. All through your life, you will be letting go, letting go, letting go. Husbands and wives, a day will come you'll have to let go of your spouse. I'm sorry. I pray over a lot of dying people. And the common scene I see is a wife holding on to a dying husband in his deathbed, probably in a coma, probably very severe, going through a lot of pain and agony. The guy wants to go to heaven. The wife is holding on. And so the man has to linger and stay because the wife doesn't want to let go. And I totally understand that. But then somewhere along the way, the wife finally gets it that if she really loves him, it's better that he goes now so that he doesn't have to go through more pain. And so she surrenders him to God and lets go. He goes to heaven. And then she discovers that he will always be in her heart. Letting go is painful. Letting go is painful. You know why many people don't have the ability to let go? Ask me why. I'll give you a very crude analogy. Imagine a best friend approaching you, begging you, please give me 10,000 pesos. It's an emergency. You go to your ATM, you check, you only have 10,000 pesos in your name, under your name. And if you're going to give that 10,000 pesos to your best friend, you will have no food for the next 2 weeks. You won't be able to feed your kids. You won't be able to pay the electric bill at the end of the month. You won't be able to give allowance to the daily allowance of your kids. Question. Will it be difficult to give 10,000 pesos to your best friend, even if you really, really, really wanted to give? Can I change the scenario? What if you were a multi-millionaire? Would it be a little bit easier to give 10,000 to your friend? Here's my message. An empty heart cannot let go. When your heart is empty, you cannot let go of a person that is the source of your self-worth. You cannot let go of something, a relationship, of someone that is the definition of who you are. You cannot let go of anything or anyone if that thing or person is the foundation of your identity, the foundation of who you are. That position can only be played by God. God has to be your only source of joy and happiness and self-worth. Only God has to take that posture, that position, that place in your heart. And I say this to you. I ask you right here, this moment, I want you to go to God. To the God who gave His life to you, who laid down His life for you. Yes, He died so that you will live. Talk about letting go. My dear friends, right now, lift up your hands. Say this after me. Jesus, I want to let go of anything and anyone that you want me to let go. Jesus, fill my heart. let go, you receive abundance. And I invite you to get your Naveen to God's Love, your list of dreams from your wallet, from your bag, from your phone. I want you to raise it up as a symbol of your belief that God is here. Everybody say this after me. Father, I'm letting go so that you can fill me with abundance. I declare your dreams for my life will come true. Somebody beside you, tell that person, I love you. Oh,